Greetings, hello, and welcome. I'm Susan Balbus with Na'a Fund. I'm the executive director, and we're really happy to have you join us here today, wherever you are calling in from. We are here on the lands of the Coast Salish people, and we want to thank them for their stewardship over thousands of years so that we can all live here on this beautiful land together today. So welcome. We're so happy that you could join us. Na'a Fund means Mother Earth in the Chinook jargon language, or the Chinook Wawa language of the Pacific Northwest region of the United States. And our Blue Jay Festival, we launched in 2009 to really celebrate and showcase our beautiful cultures and just bring you the talent and talk about our accomplishments and celebrate together. And so, of course, this year we are online to make sure that we're all kept safe. And we're going to launch our festival today with an opening song with the Gathered in This Place Intertribal Drum Group.
Itsa We are Clam this place, a Two-Spirit and LGBTQ Indigenous drum group based in Coast Salish Territory. First of all, we would like to open the space by sharing the welcome song, which was passed to us from Emma Elliott Groves. It was gifted to Gordon Elliott and his family from Kelly White, Robert and Dino Butler, and others in the 1970s. It's used to open up space and welcome in and thank the ancestors for being with us. Hey, 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 young Gua. 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 Hey, young Gua. Hey, young Gua. Haichka, 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 siem. Haichka, 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 siem. Haichka, 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 siem.
Haichka, 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 siem.
Haichka, 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 siem.
Haichka, 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 siem.
Haichka, siem.
Haichka, siem.
Mo yo ho ho yo shushon.
Mo yo ho yo shushon.
Mo yo ho yo shushon.
Mo yo yo shushon.
Mo yo yo shushon.
Mo yo yo shushon.
Shushon.
Yo shushon.
Hey 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 young gua.
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 Hey young gua.
Hey young gua.
Next, we'll be presenting Strong Women, which is a song that was passed from women in Kingston Women's Prison in Canada, and is an open song. We are presenting this song as a way to honor the work that NIF does, uplifting our women and girls.
Wonderful time and we hope to see what everyone else is able to bring to Equity.
Thank you. Thank you so much to Gathered in This Place. That was Sean Peterson, Raven Two Feathers, Jesse Guicha, and Nico Quintana. Thank you so much for that beautiful song, those beautiful songs. So we're so excited to be hosting our online Blue Jay Festival. Throughout this 5-day festival, there will be stories, powerful conversation. Because at Na'ilahi Fund, we continue to find ways to come together, build community, lift each other up, and learn from each other. So thank you for joining us today. Next, we have Natasha Gobin. Natasha is a beautiful storyteller. She's a Tulalip tribal member. She is Snohomish, Snoqualmie, Skagit, and Sauk-Suiattle descendant. She also is a wonderful teacher of her Northern Lushootseed language. Welcome, Natasha. It's so great to have you with us today.
Slachel Siayaya, good afternoon, friends. Natasha Gobin Seedsta, Stohobsh Chad Chadas Stoqualbu, Chad Chadas Puyallup, Chad Chadas Sauk-Suiattle Isoyat Buf, Chad Chadas Kajatabsh, to all Chad Duflelap. Gobin Young Tiberaligua de Ishid, Hill Price Tisk Oyaligua de Ishid, Abs Budbadat Chad Akwit Salalats, Dufs Chowatil Chad Chada Dufs Guad, Chad Chada Dufs Ugu Salik at T Duf Lushootseed. My name is Natasha Gobin. I am of Snohomish, Snoqualmie, Puyallup, Sauk-Suiattle, and Skagit descent, a member of the Tulalip tribes. My father's side of my family are the Gobin and Young families, and my mother's side of my family are the Hill and Price families. I am a proud mother of 5 children, and I am a student, a speaker, and a teacher of the Northern Lushootseed dialect. I want to thank you all for taking the time to tune in today. I would like to also raise my hands to the singing group for offering up those songs to begin this work. I love the stories that I heard growing up as a child, and that was an inspiration for the first story that I would like to share with you guys today. This story is called Basket Lady Swing, and it was told to us by the late Agnes James. And as you may know, all of our stories take place all too hot a long time ago. Back when Basket Lady was alive. She was really big. And she was very ugly. She wasn't very liked by everyone. And why? Because she would go around and she would gobble up all of the kids, especially those ones who weren't listening. And the people got tired of it. They didn't want their children to be gobbled up anymore. So everybody came together. So they sat and they talked together. They were trying to figure out a plan on how to get rid of the Basket Lady. Hula out the east. Maybe we could just knock her over. If we all work together, we can just push her over. Hoi die the east, but she's really strong and she'll get back up and then she'll be angry. She might eat some more of our kids. Hoi ad die meatman. And then there was this little mouse. Although she was very little, she had one of the biggest ideas. She said, "Uhoyalik chash akuyaido." What if we make a swing for her? We could build her a swing. Maybe she's bored. Maybe if she doesn't have anything to do, that's why she's going around gobbling up the kids. So if we build her a swing and we agree that we'll push her, she won't be bored. And we could also feed her some food, some of the great foods that we have around, and then she won't be hungry. So everybody agreed, this is a great idea. So they built this big swing. And they built one of the big posts up in the territory of the Skagit. And then they built another one of the poles down in the territory of the Snoqualmie. They waited until that swing was ready before they talked to the basket lady to tell her what they had planned. So they built this swing, and once it was ready, come on, we have a gift for you. So she went over there and she said, what is this? We've built a swing for you. We are going to push you in this swing. And we're going to feed you all of the best foods, all of the best seafoods, all of the best game. We're going to feed you and we're going to push you in the swing. She thought, wow, they're really going to take care of me. They said, but if you get on this swing and if we feed you, you have to agree that you will not eat any more of our children. She thought to herself, well, I guess I could give this a try. Although I really like the taste of those rotten little children, maybe I'll give some of this food and take a break and go on this swing. And so she started swinging. Everybody would take turns and they would give her a push and she'd go out over the water. She would swing back on the other side of the mountains. And so she did this, and they would keep bringing her food, smoked salmon, smoked meat, berries and roots. They kept feeding her. She would, ashled. She would just sit there and she would eat and eat as she was singing or as she was swinging. And then she got bored. She's like, well, I mean, this was cool, but I'm kind of tired of swinging. And I really like this food, but I miss the taste of those rotten little children. Maybe they won't notice if I eat just one. So she ate one. She kept swinging. She's like, wow, they didn't notice. So as she was swinging, she grabbed another one and she gobbled it up. She's like, all right, I can do this. The swinging, I can still take a child here and there and they're still gonna feed me. All right, okay, I can keep doing this. Hoy, as haidu but ti islat sich talbu. but the people knew what she was doing. They noticed their kids started missing. So they came together again. While some people were taking care of her, pushing her and feeding her, they were like, now what are we gonna do? We tried to build her a swing. We're taking really good care of her. Now what do we do? And Mouse said, Dai chad meatman. I'm really small. She won't see me. Quatach chad altit abislid gwal eat shadab. I can climb up the rope and I could nibble at it and she wouldn't see me. She'd be too busy swinging. She'd be too busy eating. And if I nibble on this rope, then I can travel down to the other side and I can climb up and I can nibble on the other rope. Eventually, the rope will break and she'll fly off into nowhere and we'll never have to deal with her again. They're like, well, we're all out of ideas, so let's go with this. Hoi yahautziakwatad ukwatach dufshak altid abithid gwal eat shladab. So she climbed up high on that rope and she picked a spot. She started nibbling. Basket lady didn't see her. She traveled down to the other side. So she climbed up the other side and she started nibbling. She continued to do this until the rope was about to break. Hoi alti also yaido at siswayo. And then on the last time that they pushed her and she swung up over the water, the rope broke. And she flew up really high. And then she fell into the water. She fell into the water onto some islands. And if you look at the map where Whidbey Island and Camano Island, just outside of the Snohomish territory, if you look at those islands, you can see Squayok. You can see where she fell. He is Schayus Gual Crescent Harbor. Her head is in Crescent Harbor. Tiish Chalice Alti Pen Cove. One of her arms is Pen Cove. Tiish Spachos Gual Skagit Bay. And if you look at Skagit Bay, that's her basket. Her body and her leg is Saratoga Passage, and her other foot is Holmes Harbor. So I encourage you guys to go take a look at the map and see where Basket Lady fell. That's the end of that part of the story. The next story that I want to share with you is another story about children. And the reason why these stories stick with me is because these are the stories that I heard growing up. These are the lessons that I learned from my grandparents. And as a mother and as a teacher, these are the stories that I like to pass on. So the next story is going to be about Squalob, mother grouse, to Yahob Tubati Tiapmas. And this is a story that was passed on to us by the late Ray Moses. Altudi tuhak aslashlil siil skoy squalob. A long time ago, mother grouse lived there. Abs budbada akwika. She had a lot of children. Altis shaus waltaud. And when she would leave to go to town, tsutsab hwe guadslag. When she would leave to town, she would tell them, don't you guys leave. Ukwuk alti alchash. You have to play in our house. Ukwuk. Tagwalit ati alchash. Or you can play in the yard right outside of our house. But you can't leave beyond there. Hoi, Ushla chisab ti biao, because if you do, coyote might arrive. Gualakwad, and he might gobble you up. Ushla squalob, and so she left. Uukwook, tiba budbadats, and all of her kids were playing. All of them were playing outside. Oh, hoy, la ibibashaf ti biao. And then there was Coyote just walking around. Ulud quistab. And he heard something. Guadawati. Who is that making all that noise? Lechilalti al atsi skoisqualob. And he arrived to Mother Grouse's house. Achada Kasguitgualob. And there he saw it. Lots of little grouse just playing around, not paying attention. Utsu ti spiao. Wiutsu aschat chafu quiguasu ukwuk chatlas ko. Hey, children, do you guys want to play a game? Sutsab quit o squeakgualob. And one little grouseling said, We're not supposed to play. We need to watch out for Coyote. Hoi tiish lalili. And as for the other ones, uukwuk. They started to play. Tiish biao guahue lahat. And as for Coyote, we all know that he's a little trickster. He's not that good of a person. Ulakwad tibak sweet gualob. He gobbled up all of the little grouselings. Hoi bala ibibashaf ti spiao. And then he started walking again. Ulud quistab, balud quistab. He heard something again. Stabawati. What is making that sound up there? Hlachil si squalob. When Mother Grouse arrived back to her house, Ashud quist ot altibak chad. She saw feathers everywhere. Us haidu batsi squalob. And she knew what had happened. Uchadzil ti spiao. She started chasing Coyote. Utsu ti spiao. And as he was walking along, he could hear her. She started diving down at him. And he would say, Achada, stop Quadzu hoy. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? And she would dive down at him again. And on the fourth time, she knocked him over the cliff. And there he fell and he broke into 1,000 pieces. Hoi a tia stakayu. And then there was Brother Wolf. Petit gosab achada chati spiao. My goodness, where is my brother Coyote? I haven't seen him in a while. I better go look for him. So as he went out and he was looking for his brother, ashud tiish spiao dofgwad. He looked down and he saw his brother broken up into 1,000,000 pieces. So he traveled down. He gathered up all of those pieces, all of the pieces of Coyote, and he put them back together. And after he did, he stepped over him, Bosach, 4 times. And after the 4th time, Spiao sat up. Oh, Hachada, my goodness, I must have been asleep. Huelahat tiich Spiao, hue quiguas ituts. As for that Coyote, he wasn't sleeping, but he always says, ha chadas hide. I already knew that. Dich hois a tiich siahob. And that's the end of that part of the story. The next 2 stories that I would like to share are 2 stories that were passed down to us by the late Lizzy Christ. The first one is about Sia Bustad, Lady Louse. All tooty too hawk, a long time ago. A slachlil kwasi bustad, Lady Louse lived there. All to hey, all, in a big house. Die, she was all alone. She didn't have any friends or any relatives. Hoi guol quadada, and then she picked it up. Guol e quida, and she swept it. Here, hey, alls, that big house. Cost equil, there was a lot of dirt. Hola o deguijala, alti alls, and just when she got to the middle of the house, hoi huela, Lady Louse disappeared. Shubshobustad. After she got to the middle, she was lost, and then she disappeared. And that's the end of that story. And the last one I would like to share with you is one that is called Lizzy's clam digging story. And this is a story that Lizzy Christ had told that shared her experience as a young girl going out clam digging. Tu elagwil chud, altid iltbid, chada tu olo. I got into my canoe and I started paddling. To Och chud, twal Camino Head, and I traveled to Camino Head. Hoi chud to Ahua, and I started to harvest clams. Hoya to eat dis ahub, and when I was finished with my clamming, Buck elagwilchud, I got back into my canoe. Lechilchud twaltid all, I arrived back at my house. Holaf ut italus, si ich tudskoi, utids aho u olachudchud. I got back to my house and my mom was shocked at all of the clams that I had gathered. Lushootseed utids Rover. I was accompanied by my dog, Rover. Die hat de captain altids ulu. He was a great captain on my travels. Dies hois atiish siahob. That's the end of that retelling of Lizzy's clam digging stories. So these are the stories that I wanted to share with you today. These were the ones that were calling out to me. And it is our teaching that it's not my job to share what you should have learned, but everybody will take a piece of that story and carry a teaching with them from here on forward. Ut igui tabushlen chud twaltis alab. Once again, I want to thank you all for joining me and listening to me share a couple of stories today. Iguitseed, hoit siaya. Thank you and farewell, friends.
Thank you, Natasha Gobin. That was so wonderful. I love to listen to the Lushootseed language and the beautiful old stories, the traditional stories. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you to all of you for joining us today on our first day of our Blue Jay Festival. So up next at 3 o'clock live will be Cece Hoffman, our own Cece Hoffman. She's going to be hosting an Indigenous foods demonstration with our guests, Mariana Harvey from Yakima Nation and Mackenzie Grinnell from Jamestown, Sklallam. So you can watch live stream here on our YouTube channel. Facebook events will take you there as well. And for the full festival schedule, you can find all of the details both on our Facebook page and Instagram. So thank you all for joining us here today, and we look forward to sharing with you all throughout this week. Thanks. Bye for now.